What's up, guys? It's the Chinnist. So today is March 1st, Thursday, the day after New Comic Book Day. I have my haul here of 24 with 19 different titles. So yeah, another fail from UPS. I think there was like weather up north that was bad. So all the LCS around Houston, or I think the state of Texas, got their stuff on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. So one LCS had their stuff on Wednesday. At the end of the day, the other one had it on Thursday. So I waited for today to kind of read through everything and collect the whole week. So starting off, we have The Terrifics. This was an excellent read, in my opinion. So a lot of people are claiming, like, another Marvel ripoff, on this the new Age of Heroes here, and this is supposed to be the Fantastic Four. Yes, I clearly see the similarity, but I think this one really stood up on its own. So this one, as it said, was a metal tie-in, or it came out of Dark Knight's Metal. You could truly see the storyline here. They really talk about the gateway, the portal between the two, and man, good stuff. So if you're reading Metal, I would highly suggest to pick this one up. So I myself am not a Fantastic Four fan. So, and I really truly enjoyed this title here. So, regardless if you are a Fantastic Four fan or not, I would really suggest to pick this title up to, really see for yourself if you enjoy it or not. So I've always been a fan of Plastic Man just because of the cartoon, back in the day, I kind of grew up with it. I think the cartoon came out like 8 or 10 years old. So I have not read anything with Plastic Man in forever. Really, really love this guy, man. He's just hilarious in my opinion. A little annoying at times, but hilarious. Kind of like Slapstick, that character Slapstick in my opinion. So yeah, guys, I truly enjoyed it. I really love this artwork that went along with this as well. So guys, another good title from DC in my opinion. So yeah, check it out, guys. Okay, so opposite to that, so we have Silencer 2. This was another new Age of Heroes. That #1 I did not pick up just because I thought that she had no powers. She was like a CIA agent. So I was like, yeah, hard pass, for me. Come to find out, in that issue #1, she did have powers. And so I went back the week afterwards and I picked up that #1, read through it, really, really enjoyed it. There's ties to Talia al Ghul as well. I guess she may have been like a assassin back in the day. But this #2, to tell you the truth, did not live up to my expectation. #1, great job. This #2, man, I was not feeling it. To the point to where I do not think I am going to pick up a #3. So yeah, Silencer #2, I would suggest a pass, in my opinion. Okay, next up we have Teen Titans. Man, love this title. So I just found out they are canceling Teen Titans. So DC canceled both Teen Titans and Super Sons. Apparently they're going to be using the characters in another title. So it's not going to be a renumbering, is what I understand from, they're not going to renumber Teen Titans, go down to #1. They're going to split the group up and they're going to join like another team. So yeah, so disappointed that they're killing two titles that I absolutely love. But at least they're going to use them somewhere else, but I really hope it's going to be soon. So I picked up cover B, really liked this cover. I noticed this one sold out, and I was really surprised that it did, but I enjoyed the cover, so I picked it up, read through my cover A. Really enjoyed it. This one really focused around Beast Boy. So Beast Boy has left the team. He's kind of like a little solo deal right now, and he's kind of figuring out his way outside of the team. You have this kind of like inconsequential, little rescue that they kind of do here. But again, this entire issue really centers around Beast Boy. There's something at the end, you see him kind of get in trouble, and I'm sure, the team will come help him out. But yeah, really enjoyed this this title, and pretty decent issue for this month. Okay, next up we have The Flash, and this was another one where I picked up both the cover A and the cover B as well. Man, I really loved this cover with Wally West. I thought it was really, really powerful image there, in my opinion. So yeah, so here we deal with Barry Allen. So Grodd has come back. Grodd has stolen Barry Allen's superpowers. I'm sorry, his Speed Force. So this is really him dealing with, not having the Speed Force. The other Kid Flashes or Flashes are coming around, trying to figure out, what to do next. And at the end of this one, you kind of see Barry Allen take, somewhat of extreme measures. And you'll see him, reach out for assistance to someone who he has battled in the past. So yeah, really great issues here. So, they're really going to tie up, what happens to Wally West. So it's something else I heard, they're actually canceling the Titans as well. So something is going to happen with Wally West here going forward. You know, not sure if he's going to pick up the Flash, you know, just like he did in the past. But man, we shall see. But I think this is coming to a point here pretty soon. Okay, next up, Imaginary Fiends. So this is number 4. So, you know, another quick shout out to John over at Cable Comics. Man, thank you very much for exposing me to this title. Loved it. So I picked up number 1 and 2, read through that one. Love those titles. For some reason, they do not have number 3 on the shelf. So I need to go hunt down that number 3. I have no clue why I can't find it at either LCS. And I just put in an order for Midtown last night, and I forgot to order that damn number 3. So anyways, I want to get that number 3, read through it before I get through this number 4. But man, great storyline overall. You know, you have these kind of like Right Said Fred, not Right Said Fred, what was that, where she had an imaginary friend, something dead Fred, right dead Fred, to where imaginary friends are actually real. Come to find out they're from another realm. They're like aliens, and they come into our realm and they feed off of the human emotion. You know, mainly the companionship, but some of these imaginary fiends, they start feeding off of fear, and they start getting stronger and stronger, and to the point to where they could actually affect the real world, and they start murdering humans. So pretty, you know, very cool concept here, man. So they kind of did like a little X-Files things where, you know, humans know about this and they kind of hunt them down. You know, the government knows about it and try to keep it under attack. So, man, very cool issue. Okay, next up, this was the only Hulk variant. I think there was like 4 on the shelf that I saw, maybe 3. This is the only one that I actually enjoyed. So this was kind of like a homage, maybe like a cover swipe, like an updated, realistic cover swipe of like Hulk 181. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm reading All New Wolverine in trade, so I typically do not pick up the floppies at all. But anytime I see something interesting, pick it up. All right, XMen Blue. So, you know, on the Marvel side, I love everything that's X-Men right now. I am completely Venomed out at this point in time, and Venom is just like so oversaturated. You know, I was kind of done with him in the late 90s, to tell you the truth. You know, so I thought he was cool, very cool power, cool concept. You know, him splitting from Peter Parker back in the day. But I don't know, man, it just got old after a while. So you have the various symbiotes who have merged with the X-Men Blue team. And, you know, I thought that was very cool. They kind of take on like a little bit different personalities, you know, just how Venom would. So they've actually teamed up with Venom, and they're going after, you know, basically slave traders who actually trade symbiotes that they encounter. So, man, cool issue, but, you know, I'm kind of Venom out at this point in time. So this is straight up crossover. I think the next issue occurs in Venom. I think that closes out this this title here. I'm sorry, the story arc. But yeah, man, I could do without Venom at this point in time. Alright, next up, Darth Vader. Man, I love this title. I'm a true Star Wars fan. You know, I seek all those, you know, storylines, even the fan storylines at this point in time. But Charles Soule, or Sewell, I've heard that name pronounced 2 different ways. Man, he is absolutely killing it on both the Volume 1 Darth Vader as well as this one. So in this one, man, this is kind of like an origin. So this happens, you know, directly after Episode 3. And, you know, you find out in the last one he was... there was like a death contract put out on him. You know, various bounty hunters tried to ambush and kill Darth Vader. Man, he quickly disposed of. He struggled, but he quickly disposed of him. In this title, you kind of see, you know, you found out that the order came from the High Council, so he actually approaches Palpatine to see, like, hey, did you do that? So, you know, I'm going to skip a couple pages so I don't show, you know, what happens. But man, extremely cool. This one issue kind of gives you the origin of his current lightsaber that you see in all the movies that Darth Vader is in. So this one issue is actually, you know, is how he gets... He's had the crystal in the past, but this is actually the hilt that he utilizes, you know, going forward until he dies, basically. Excellent, excellent stuff, man. If you are a Darth Vader fan, you must pick up this title. So good, man. At the very end, you kind of see how he actually gets good control, you know, by utilizing fear over the other Imperial, you know, cadets, soldiers, things of that nature, man. Cool stuff. If you're a Darth Vader fan, you must pick it up. Okay, next up, another title I typically do not pick up as ongoing series. We have Peter Parker's The Spectacular Spider-Man. So this was kind of like an anniversary issue. This is issue number 300. So I picked up a cover A, and I think this is cover C, if I recall that one correctly. So this was a variant by Scotty Young, and I really enjoy Scotty Young. You know, it gets old, you know, after a while because he kind of does everything, but every now and again, you know, one of them kind of, you know, hits my eye. I really enjoy it. So yeah, so I actually read through this one. You know, between the two, between this Peter Parker and the Spectacular Spider-Man, I'm sorry, the Amazing Spider-Man, ASM, I think ASM is actually better. Just in, you know, kind of reading through the Red Goblin stuff and reading through this one, I enjoy the storyline. I really enjoy his interaction between Peter Parker and Riri Williams. I thought that was pretty cool, them kind of working together. This is the first time I kind of read through that, other than like maybe Civil War or something. But man, this issue was very good. You know, even though I do not typically read this, I thought this was a very exciting and entertaining issue in my opinion. Okay, next up we have Avengers Infinity War. So this is tied into the Disney MCU here. This is number 2 of 2. That number 1 had basically no additional content. Number 1 was just a rehashing of that the first storyline of the movies that have happened, and you had literally like 2 pages of new content. So you could have just kind of flipped through, you know, to the last few pages, kind of see what's going on. This is similar. This is kind of like another retelling, but this is really engaging Doctor Strange. You know, the Doctor Strange that we knew from the Disney MCU, and basically he's being, and I forget this guy's name, but through exposition, this guy's basically explaining to Doctor Strange, like, hey, from day one, here are all the stones that are on Earth. This is what has happened. It may have appeared that, you know, the Avengers were fighting this one person for a certain reason, but it was really because of the stone. And so this is kind of like tying in all the movies and the stones. So this was pretty good in my opinion, to where, you know, I suggest that you should read this number 2 of 2 right before you see the movie. What's confusing is, like, this is the retelling of the stones of the Disney MCU, and the stones of the comic book world are completely different. So it's like 2 different storylines, and they're a little bit confusing, you know? Okay, next up from Marvel again, we have Champions. Man, I love this title. You know, very similar to Teen Titans, but this kind of tackles a little bit more social, real-world type of issues. This one's very good. This kind of is a little bit more of a fallout from that last Avengers crossover they did. Was it Worlds Collide? So this is really based on Vivian, who is now human due to the High Evolutionary, and Vivian 2.0, which was created by Vision after the first Vivian went human. So this one kind of deals, you know, the human Vivian kind of feels that the robotic Vivian is after her. You know, she has this feeling that, you know, there's something going on. So this one really deals with that. You know, they have their little, you know, one-off adventure, you know, on the side. But this is really dealing with Vivian and what happens and why. You know, there may be a virus involved that was passed down from the Vision. So man, very cool stuff, man. I really enjoyed that Vivian character, and, you know, her going through human and dealing with that. Really enjoyed that the storyline so far. Okay, next up, yet another title I typically do not pick up. So this is just pure speculation. So I picked up 3 number 16s of Thanos. I know this is super hot. Found 2 15s back on the rack, man. Spine ticks all over it. So if I see number 13, 14, 15, I'm still going to pick those up. But yeah, pure speculation. I kind of, you know, thumbed through this one. This was the origin story of the intergalactic Ghost Rider, how he came to be and why. Pretty interesting, you know. So I'm reading everything in Donny Cates. I'll be reading through trade. I'll pick up any key issues, any hot variants that I pick up along the way, but really want to read that storyline in trade altogether. Similar note, this is another one that I'm picking up just because these Avengers is selling out week to week, especially the secondary covers as well. Really, you know, suggest to pick up both the primary and secondary covers, because those will be worth money going forward. So again, I'm not even thumbing through this one because I want to read the storyline once it's collected all together. So I'm bagging and boarding all the issues I'm getting. So this is part number 8. Everyone really should be picking up this storyline here. Okay, next up from Image, we have Redneck. Love this title. So, you know, again, overall, this is vampires that are living in Texas among humans. They've gone to alternate means of living, you know, i.e. they started drinking cow blood. And this is kind of, you know, the main family that this title kind of follows. You know, they have various family members. This one kind of gives you a little bit more back history. I forgot what this guy's name is, but he's not a full vampire. He was bitten, but he's not a vampire. He's kind of like a human who helps the clan because the clan helped him. So kind of like a, you know, human relationship type of deal. little bit more backstory of who this guy is, why he is, how he came to be, and a little bit more backstory of the other character, Evil, who you see as his little boy here. So yeah, pretty cool backstory, and a little bit more history of the family and how they came to be. So yeah, love this title, Redneck by Donny Cates. He's on fire right now. Okay, next up from Image, we have The Beef. I was really looking forward to this title. I think it's just this cover that kind of, I knew comedy would be involved, so I subscribed to this one right off the bat. I've never heard of Star Kings, never heard of that person before in my life, but so this one was okay. It did not meet all my expectations, so the artwork, it was that more, and not the news strip type of artwork. I forgot what this type of style is called. But, not a fan of this style of artwork, even when it goes to comedies or, humorous type of titles. So I give this artwork really like a 2, maybe a 1.5 out of 5. The humor was okay. From time to time, there's a couple funny parts in here. Overall, man, I don't really know where I stand with this title. So this really became like the origin story of the superhero. You kind of see like why he became a superhero in the chemicals that were involved, things of that nature, how he grew up. So issue number 2 on is really going to be the full meat of the storyline. So I'm going to continue to subscribe to this title for a while. But number 1, on the fence, but I need a little bit more to really determine what's going on here. Okay, next up from Image, Void Trip. So pretty cool title. I really expected just a little bit better interior art. I wanted just like a little bit more visual trips. So great artwork, but and I know the next one's a little risque, so let me pass a few pages. So great artwork, but I don't know. I think I had a little bit higher expectation of this title overall. I think there's only one more issue to finish up this little mini-series here. It's been decent, but I really expected more overall. So maybe like a 3 out of 5 on the storyline side. Okay, next up, Royal City. So I got this one only due to the 90s cover swipes that they're doing. These are all the cover B coming out for Royal City. I am not reading Royal City. I tried it out. I was not really a fan. So it's Jeff Lemire's artwork. I'm not really a fan of Jeff Lemire's watercolor artwork. I love his storytelling. I love it. He's a great storyteller. I just don't enjoy the art, and I know a lot of y'all do enjoy his art. I'm just not a fan. But these cover Bs, man. So, I grew up in the 90s. I play both guitar and drums. I consider myself a drummer over a guitarist. This is the Smashing Pumpkins cover swipe. Man, I have so many fond memories of Smashing Pumpkins. I probably played Cherub Rock on drums like 1,000 times. I played Today on guitar like another 1,000 times, man. I loved that band back in the day. Alright, so next up we have Aftershock. This is Jitsu. Interesting read here, so I love martial arts. I used to actually do Taekwondo back in the day when I was a little kid. So I love martial arts, and this one kind of ties, and I also love, science and physics. I'm kind of like a Big Bang Theory type of guy. And this one kind of ties everything together. This is kind of like philosophy, science to a molecular level, and it has good action at the same time. So I also like how he does like a little Dragon Ball Z, type of fighting, little ki blast that he does. So yeah, man, pretty cool stuff. You really need to go back to number 1. Yeah, I think this one hits trade pretty soon, but I really enjoy this title. If you enjoy martial art type of books, check this one out. Alright guys, last up for you from Valiant, we have Man OWar. Love this title. As I said in the past, I really felt this guy was just an Iron Man ripoff. I was completely wrong. Great history, great backstory on Eric. He's actually came from like the Roman days, like maybe like 800 AD, somewhere in there. Kidnapped, went to space, and that's where he actually got his armor. So man, great stuff here. This follows his entire like epic journey. He went from a farmer to being drafted into a war, from being a foot soldier, going up the general ranks to basically becoming the emperor of this entire world. So the entire world is now after him. There's many mercenaries and headhunters are trying to kill him for money. Great stuff, guys. If you have not checked out XO, I highly suggest to pick up at least that volume number 1 that came out in trade. So guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.